Well, thanks for asking this question. Open access is an interesting and it's a relatively new idea, and I personally like this idea of open access as it helps to reach these particular research findings, our views to very broader communities. I particularly and personally think that there is a role for us to disseminate what we do. It is not just within us, but also to the broader communities, and not confined to any geographical location, but globally too. It is again something that I was not doing previously, but in recent time I have seen that this is something that is a good idea, and many of the reputable publishers, particularly, they are asking us that whether you want to publish open access. So when there is an option available that from the reputable and well-ranked journal to publish in both open access and not open access, I would always go for open access because again it will give more access to our end users or our stakeholders who have been using these researchers, as I said, not just here in Australia but globally. But more importantly, it is good for our students. Just think about a student. They have been using different type of tablets, and maybe they are anywhere, okay, and maybe they are not always logged into the Griffith system. They are maybe in the train station. They are maybe anywhere. Maybe they are traveling. They can still go and look at what I have been doing, or many of the research publications. So, to be honest, to my understanding, it has more good. It is, and then I really volunteer to publish in this area. Let me talk about myself first, because I noticed that since I started publishing open access, because I can see that my Google Scholar citations on that particular articles, they have increased, not significantly, but better than others which are really locked in or confined or have to pay for. I can realize that this is probably many of the countries, developing countries, they have institutions, organizations, they have been going through this, and these are open access. They can have better use and utilization of this, and that's free. The second, for myself as a researcher, I can see that it is a bit of satisfaction for me that more users, and it has been used by many, because at the end of the day, we definitely want better use of what we do, right? But now I go for our students' perspective. I think that is also something we always keep in our mind. Students are our biggest user, apart from other industry groups and other stakeholders and users, day-to-day users. So the students are now very diverse. We have to think about students from diverse communities, diverse background in many different countries, or even our own students are from many different places, and they don't have that ability to source things which are really locked in, or somewhere have to subscribe, have to go through uni, and then they can't really use this properly as compared to if something is on the open access. So again, I have seen there are better things in open access when it is compared to the other option. Well, I would actually encourage my colleagues to go for open access, because there is nothing wrong on that. There are, as I said, very good publishers are now coming and giving us an option whether we want to go for open access or not. Why not to go for open access if there is an option available? I would definitely encourage them to go, because this is probably the future. The future is to really, just to have open access, or to really disseminate ideas and to the broader communities. It's not just the way still we thought before, to really confine us, but to really engage with the communities and engage with the broader communities. So I will be encouraging them to publish on the open access. It is true to some extent, but that days are gone now. Previously, some of those smaller and not that good publishers came and open access, and they probably asked for subscription and something. But nowadays, very reputable publishers are coming out as open access. So we can now change our idea that well, now it is a different era, and we now have the option by provided by the more robust and more better publisher groups to really publish in this option. So I would say that to really go case by case and see whether it is of use, whether it is a good quality, because these open access, they will go a very strict and sort of review process. Let me give an example of where I do publish, because many of my research are in ethics, sustainability, environmental sustainability, social issues, and sustainability. And I can see like Journal of Business Ethics, which is classified as ABDC A journal, which is an open access. Now, what would we say about this? This is definitely giving our students and all different stakeholders an opportunity to go through it anywhere from any time without logging into or without paying anything for that. Well, I would to conclude in a way that we need to everything is changing, right? We are now in an era of complete digitization. We are in the era of a lot of computer era. It is completely an internet era, right? We can't really confine things into the book anymore. It is where we have ebook, where we have e-journal, and it will be the future. So we can adjust things, we can learn from what's happening. The good thing for us is we need to accommodate what's happening. We cannot resist things forever that we won't accommodate things. I would see that there are better future for e-journal, and there are better future for this digitization process.